You're listening to Podcast PXN,
a video game podcast
delivering player experience news.
Let's go!
Summer Game Fest. I'm sorry. Hot Jeff Summer is finally over, and welcome to Podcast PXN, episode 247. I am one of your hosts, video essayist and video producer at Dual Shockers from Portland, Oregon, Christian Macias. I'm joined over Discord by Kentucky's #1 Spartan, PXN founder, Daniel Prindle, aka Dan is DTM.
Dom!
Oh, I see why you're doing that. Yeah. Please stand up. He's the president of the Tifa Lockhart fan club and the Nintendo aficionado and artist extraordinaire at Roro.
Max is back!
We gotta talk about that later. In the show. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And my Latin lover from up above, Gage Dempster.
I don't have anything funny to say, so I'll just say, how are you doing? It's good to hear your voice, especially like this.
Yeah. I'm a little bit sick. Not COVID so far. A lot of people have been tweeting like, oh, if I saw you at Summer Game Fest, I tested positive.
Get tested.
Yeah. Get tested.
I ain't fucking all of you.
Not me so far. I did worry though, because yesterday I was like, is this food? I ordered food because long day of traveling. I'm not gonna fucking cook. I was like, is this food? Like, can I taste? That's what made me take the test. And then turns out the food was just like kind of bland.
It just wasn't seasoned properly.
Yeah. I had like dessert after. I was like, oh, this fucking tastes great. So yeah. Thank you to everyone watching us live and participating in the chat. Just as a reminder, we are live each and every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, except for 250, where we'll be live that Friday because it's a special occasion. Just search Podcast PXN as well as twitch.tv/Podcast PXN. Topic of the show this week is our hands-on previews from Summer Game Fest, and of course, all the announcements from the major showcases. But first, the show always starts with the quick bites. Psych! Not today. We're going straight to news of the week. Guys, I separated the showcases into three, obviously. The first was from Friday. SGF was Friday at 3 p.m. or something like that. Xbox Games Showcase was later on in the week. And then I think yesterday was the Ubisoft Forward. There's, of course, other things in there like Day of the Devs. I think the PC Game Show or something like that.
PC Game Show, yeah.
Might have been some other stuff I might have missed. So if there's anything that I miss over the course of these next three segments, please, by all means, just flag me down. Just say, hey, hold on, I saw this, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. And then we'll talk about it. We'll start with SGF. We're pulling from Kotaku here. They broke everything down. I believe this might be in order, but I can't remember if it is or not. Let's just pretend it is. First things first, Lego Horizon Adventures. This is made by both Guerrilla and then the people that obviously make the other Lego games. Using the Horizon IP, coming to PC, I think, as well, but also coming to Switch. Huge. And I gotta say, this is a way better use of the IP than anything Guerrilla has been doing with the RPGs they have on PlayStation. This is actually okay, kind of exciting. That's cool.
Yeah, it looks fun. I'm just, when you say a better use of the IP, the better use of her specifically, like Aloy, this character.
Even the world of I don't think the Horizon world itself is very fun as an RPG. At least the way they do it. And in this format, I'm okay, as a family friendly thing. This actually might work better for me. And also, I think Aloy just being a bit more fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Definitely. Okay.
The setting, the robot dinosaur setting is better suited for
something
friendly.
like this.
Okay.
Yeah. 1000%. Yeah, I agree with that actually. But yeah, this looks like fun, and it coming to the Switch is awesome because obviously it's a PlayStation IP, so it's starting to what Xbox is doing, starting to kind of mesh those or take down those walls. I guess I don't know how much this is going to happen going forward, but this is an interesting development, I think.
This was available to play at SGF along with Astro. I didn't play either of those, but from what I heard, they were both good. Astro, of course, being the one that is. Well, we'll talk. Well, wait, what's Astro? What? We'll talk about that later.
Oh, what was that noise?
Hmm? Next thing at SGF, continue reading here. No More Room in Hell 2. I don't remember this game. Oh, Gage does. What's up? What's up with this game?
This game, so first and foremost, the second game looks like it's a little bit different, but this game has been on my Steam wish list since like 2018. The first game, very cool genre blending. The overall high-end gameplay is very much like Left 4 Dead. You and like 4 or maybe it was 8 players, I don't know. You and a bunch of players, you go through these linear levels. It's a zombie game. There's like crescendo events, so you're kind of like you go to this thing. It's like, oh, you gotta refill the generator and start the generator up. It's gonna attract a horde. But what they do differently is that it's also kind of like survival sim. So like instead of mowing down hordes of zombies, you're collecting like a handful of bullets at a time, and they're all different calibers. And so when you get to those crescendo events, you have to really communicate with your team and be like, hey, I've got a pistol. Does anybody have pistol ammo? And then so on and so forth. So very, very cool genre bending. It's an awesome little indie. I recommend people try the first one. It's great. The second one
is like isometric, right?
No. It's first person. Yeah, it's very much like Left 4 Dead meets kind of like, I don't know, Tarkov, I guess. Very, very interesting flavor of game. But second one looks really good. I'm very excited for this.
Hell yeah. Maybe some people are excited about Harry Potter Quidditch Champions. That's coming out this year, September 3rd on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, as well as PC.
I'm right there with you, Dan.
Did he shake his head?
No.
He grimaced.
I still
don't know. I didn't hate it. What?
Quidditch?
Whatever. There's someone will play this. Harry Potter, like, that was like number one. It beat Call of Duty.
I still.
It's magical cricket. Who cares?
I still can't believe I bought Hogwarts Legacy on sale just to be in the zeitgeist, and it's still sealed, sitting right there.
You know who can believe that? Literally everyone. You finished Hellblade 2 yet?
Well, we'll get to that in the games we're playing.
Sick.
Will we get to it, Dan?
Well.
One of my personal highlights for the show was this little game called Cuff Bus. This comes from one developer, the creator of Choo Choo Charles, that like horror game where Thomas the train engine just shows up and does something scary. I don't know. But this is like a multiplayer game where you're like breaking out of prison by just doing various nefarious things, and it's cute, charming, has some humor to it, and I kind of enjoyed the trailer.
Yeah, looks like a fun party game that the lads would potentially play for sure.
All the lads? All 4 lads?
I said the lads. I said I didn't specify.
Yeah, he's excluding himself.
Like a politician. Like a politician, he's dodging the responsibility of showing up. Incredible, Ro.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. I remember the third thing that I needed to tell you guys, but I have to tell you that off camera. Yeah. I'll say this though. I forgot to mention, Summer Game Fest started with Jeff highlighting layoffs, which I thought was very important to address. Surprised that he did it, but delightfully surprised. And also, I know he said check your expectations. We have a lighter year in the industry, and the people made comments about like having weird energy during the show. But there were a lot of moments during SGF this year where he was like emphasizing that this game was made by an indie developer or by one person, like highlighting that yes, people are out there doing some important work. And I thought that was neat.
I thought him bringing the infographic on stage and highlighting just how many of Steam's top sellers are actually independent and not from big AAA studios was also a really, it seems like a small thing to do, but that was a really good way to direct people's attention to hey, pay attention to the small space because it's not really small in any metric. It's it's bigger than a lot of the big guys. I thought that was a really, really cool thing for him to do. And it's more than we've gotten at a lot of other events. So I thought that was cool. Yeah.
We got a new trailer for Star Wars Outlaws, and it ended with being like, hey, check out more at the Ubisoft Forward in a couple of days, and stay excited for August 30th when the game releases. We'll talk about this more during the Ubi Forward, and of course in our topic of the show. Up next was Neva. This was another indie developers of Greece. I think we've seen this game before. It was like this white-haired protagonist with like some kind of, it was like a wolf creature. Looks like an emotional 2D maybe action kind of game. Look cool. I like the art style a lot. I'm excited.
Yeah, great art style. I don't think I finished Gris. How do you say Greece? Gris?
I think it's Greece.
Greece, okay.
Or technically,
yeah.
hold on. If I remember right,
isn't
it's
it?
Gris. It's Gris.
Gris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, beautiful art style. So it's cool that they're still making games over there.
Lo and behold,
Oh,
Sid Meier popping up. Civilization 7. It's fucking happening, folks.
You thought this day would never come, but it's here. Another Civilization game. Wow.
who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
What
Sid.
thought?
Sid would have thought.
Which one of these will be the end of civilization?
Oh God.
It'll this one, if you don't vote this November. There you go.
Nice.
We then got another trailer for Black Myth Wukong, and I can confirm that this was well, hold on.
Confirm.
We got a trailer for Black Myth Wukong, and it looks fucking great. Comes out this year. Very excited.
Is it looking like a real game? Is that where you're going with it?
More than that. More than that.
Hmm,
Cool.
Yeah.
interesting.
Once Human. Starry Studios' vision of a post-apocalyptic fantasy world features a wide variety of environments and deadly enemies of all kinds. Once Human arrives on July 9th. I do not remember this one. And
Neither
judging
do
by
I. I don't- I don't
judging by
remember this at
judging by everyone. Okay, cool. Got another
This was-
trailer from. Go
Sorry,
ahead.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
I'm moving on.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we got another trailer for Metaphor ReFantasio, which comes out later this year. This is the creators of Persona series, and more thoughts later from me. But I know Ro and I specifically are jazzed about this one. Is that right?
Yes, I am. I don't know if I should. Maybe I should save my. I will save my questions for later. But yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I am pretty excited for this one. I love me some Persona. Love me some Atlas art, and looks like it's doing both of those things.
We'll talk it a little bit.
Mhm.
Jeff fucking edged us at the beginning of the show by mentioning Batman. He's like, "Oh, let's return to the Arkham universe." Yeah, there's a I forgot about this. There's a fucking MetaQuest game coming out exclusively to the MetaQuest 3 that is Batman Arkham Shadow. I don't think I'd be so negative on this if I would have seen anything that resembled what I'd actually be doing in the game, as opposed to a 30-second teaser for the game, all CG teaser. Tells me nothing about playing this game in VR.
I mean, not seeing. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Not seeing gameplay is disappointing, but I feel like Batman's a pretty good. Like when I think of putting on a headset and pretending to beat people up, what IP would translate really well to that? I feel like Batman's up there. I feel like this is a cool idea for a VR game.
Yeah.
I think in the hands of the right developers, it could be cool. Hey, you have the array of gadgets. Sorry, Dan. Probably gonna mention the same thing.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. I think this isn't one to sleep on because of the developer, because they've got VR experience with Iron Man VR, which I know that wasn't as much of a full-fledged game, but I know a lot of people really liked the stuff in that. So I'm interested to see what they do with this. The only bad thing is you have to have a MetaQuest 3, so probably won't play it.
Right.
However, Quest I think is the one that is selling the most.
Yeah.
It is the most affordable option for a standalone headset. Absolutely.
We got a trailer for the next fighter pack coming to Street Fighter 6, and it includes some characters from Fatal Fury. And I can tell you the pop in the room was pretty big for this one. The dudes behind me were losing their fucking minds. And I was happy for them.
That's awesome.
Gage had quite the stiffy for Tears of Metal. What would you call this?
A
What are these types of games
roguelike
like?
Musou game? I don't know.
Yeah.
You and
Oh,
friends
it is a
taking on
roguelike. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, you and friends taking on hundreds of enemies on screen, and it's set in like some sort of alternate history Scotland revolution. Hey, sign me up, man. That sounds pretty cool.
Almost like dark fantasy inspired too. There's like some weirdo dudes in there.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it is co-op.
I hope they make the big. I hope that those are supposed to be representations of the British. That would be hilarious. I would love for this to be a cool little. Hey, I feel like I'm Scottish. Fuck the British. Let's fucking go.
You're incredible. Dragon Ball Sparking. This has a typo, Kotaku. It's Sparking Zero, not Sparkling Zero. Got a trailer. It was unveiled. It's the next battle game from like the what is it? Budokai Tenkaichi series. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. I don't know if I can say more about this.
I haven't played the older games, but I played Fighter Z a little bit, and I just love the art style in these games. Like they lean very heavily into the actual anime style instead of doing the weird 3D. I mean, it is 3D, but you know what I mean. Like the past anime games have looked like video games, where this looks like it's more of the TV show, and I like when they do that. It just looks more authentic to the anime, which is cool and more fun to play, more cinematic. So I'm sure fans are hyped. Even I'm excited. I'm not even that big into Dragon Ball.
I'll talk to you later, bro.
Oh.
Delta Force Hawk Ops got a trailer. This one's weird. It's a name that doesn't flow, but it's also in collaboration with Black Hawk Down. The campaign mode is inspired by the real world events and then the movie itself, but there's also a pretty substantial multiplayer extraction mode, which we'll talk about later in the show. And I'll tell you right now, based on what I played, it's good.
Okay.
That's cool. That's exciting. I like we've talked about with Black Ops. I love this time period. I love the aesthetic. So the campaign, I know the multiplayer seems to take place at a different time period. It's only the campaign that's like the 90s, and then it looks like the multiplayer stuff is like futuristic. So the campaign, I'm definitely interested in to check this out. And if it plays well, and they've got the same set of bones on them, then hopefully it's a fun campaign experience as well.
Fatal Fury City of Wolves is coming early 2025. Fighter fans, rejoice. Damn, SGF had a shit ton of stuff, huh? I'm gonna rush through these a little bit more. Battle Crush, an isometric character-based combat game, was shown off at SGF. I don't know if any of us have any thoughts there. Mecha Break. It's like if Armored Core was made by someone maybe less competent. I don't know. It didn't look very appealing.
What?
Wow.
I thought this looked sick.
Am
At
I
least
crazy?
You might
No,
be.
maybe I just have a lower bar probably. I just thought it looked cool. Like it was very brief though, so it could be that you weren't sold by the little bit that was shown, and I was too easily impressed by what the little bit was shown. But I thought it looked cool. It's a multiplayer game, right? And it's like closed beta coming soon. I just like the brief action shots that they gave, and the fact that you could like customize your robot tickles a little itch in my brain. You know, just those things. I'm not thinking it's not like game of the year or anything, but it looks fun to me.
Right.
I'm
I'm probably just a hater. I'm sure it's fine.
Gage, what game was it? Gundam. We thought it was Gundam during the live
Yeah.
stream, and
heavy Gundam vibes.
Yeah.
It did, yeah.
Yeah.
Did we live stream this?
Yeah. You and Van did.
Wait,
Oh,
That was the Xbox.
No, that was the Xbox show.
Oh,
Wait,
okay.
It
am
showed
I
up
making
again,
that
yeah.
up? I swear.
No, it
Oh, you
showed up
are
again.
right. That was the thing that happened, but I didn't know that it showed up here and Xbox. I thought
Oh.
it was Xbox.
Oh.
Got it.
Okay.
You know what
it
else
looked
showed
like,
up?
It looked like Gundam, but it was not.
Jason Blum showed up and was like, "We got Blumhouse games now, and we made a shit ton." Let me tell you right now, they had a presence at SGF, and we'll tell you a bit more about this in the topic of the show. But like, it was genuinely delightful to talk to the people working with Blumhouse games. Their whole like mission statement is to go after developers that are like in the independent space and give them money to help make their project. There's a tidbit that I don't know if it's public or not, so maybe I won't say it on the pod. But it gave me a lot of faith for like the whole operation of Blumhouse games. So like, no, this is genuinely going to be cool stuff. I don't know if everyone will be like a total hit or not, but like they're banking on like just making the cool shit first, and if something like ends up being big, then hell yeah, and that's neat.
That's great. I love that.
Oh yeah.
I gotta say, I thought about Daniel when this showed up because I knew he'd get like, I don't know, super defensive, I guess, or like about like a certain color. There's a Power Rangers game called Rita's Rewind,
Jesus.
and it's like it's a 2D side-scrolling beat 'em up, a la the TMNT games. And I gotta tell you, when I saw this, I'm like, dude, if this is like on Game Pass, you bet your ass I'm gonna pull the lads, capital TL, all the lads, up for a gaming session and play that together.
Mm.
This looks.
And I'll be
sick.
the Blue Ranger because blue is my color.
Nice,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, this looks sick, and I'm a huge Power Rangers fan as a child, so this is cool.
Did you have a favorite? Just wondering, so I know who Gage should pick.
But yeah, I think I should keep that a secret until we play because then Gage will take it. But surprisingly, it was not the Blue Ranger.
Oh,
Blue Ranger.
Dan, it's almost
Blue Ranger.
certainly Red Ranger.
is right.
Blue Ranger was my number 2, I'd say.
Interesting.
Red Ranger because he's the leader.
No, it was not Red Ranger.
Then I'm picking
Yellow?
White Ranger.
Okay, then we're good. Then we're good.
It looks like there might be 6 playable Rangers. I don't know if the co-op goes up to 5 or not, but I've seen 6 colors on this. And also, these levels look kind of insane. Like there's a level where they're on like a roller coaster, and they're like it's like a 2D like shooting game. And also, of course, what are they called? Like the Megazoids? No. What is it called when they transform into the big things? The big robots when they all
They're
turn.
so close. And isn't
Megazord.
Megazord. Yeah.
Yeah, where it's like it's first person and you're like fighting. There's a third person motorcycle level. This looks like a shit ton of fun. Absolutely.
I just
sold.
I just realized that the color that is my number 1 isn't one of the options I'm looking through here. So I guess we know what my number 1 is now. God damn it.
We got another like smaller game called Deer and Boy. Looks like maybe a 2D side-scrolling kind of an emotional game. It was just a cinematic here. We don't know much about this one. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 got a trailer, and let me tell you, I didn't know this had an audience because I didn't know anything about this game. And again, this is one that like definitely popped from the people around me.
I kickstarted the first game and never played it. Shut up!
Why do you keep outing yourself, huh?
I know.
I've not played this game, and again, locked to first person medieval games. I prefer third person, so I probably won't jump into the sequel. But I will say, from people that I've talked to, I've heard nothing but good things for the first one. If you like a in-depth character RPG, but I can't play melee games in first person. Sorry, I will not do it.
Sure. Boca Game Studio Inc. Had a new trailer for Slitterhead, and apparently with an interview from the developer, the more people you like sacrifice, the better. So there you go. I don't know what this game really is. you're like jumping from person to person, controlling them, and you're fighting like giant like monsters in Japan.
Yeah, this one was a little strange. It might play good, but it is a weird showing. I feel like the trailer didn't do it justice. If it is good.
This is the only thing I can say about that is not under embargo is that Boca Game Studio was at SGF and they had beers that they made, like homebrewed. They had two different beers. They had an IPA and they had like a Chinese spice beer. And they're both delicious.
Hell yeah.
Killer Bean. It wasn't the first time this game we've seen it, but it's the first official trailer. I know that for sure now. I gotta tell you, man,
Yeah.
I'm so fucking in for this game. Every time I see it, like I've seen it twice. I can't fucking wait. I'm so in.
Unfortunately, I don't think I said anything. Oh no, we weren't. Never mind. We didn't stream this. Right. This was. I'm getting them mixed up now. When I was watching this, I started grinning from ear to ear. Not because this game looked like anything I was gonna touch, but I was like, man, if I had a goal of making a trailer to get money from Christian Macias, I don't know that I could design a better trailer.
Max Payne inspired, third person, but also sometimes first person. I think it's like level based, but some of them are like procedurally generated, so like it's never doing the same thing over and over again. There's a shot where like he like jumps up and catches a grenade, and then like
Slam dunks
alley oops and like
Soccer
slam
kicks it back
dunks on the
to him.
ground.
Oh my god.
Yeah. What a trailer, huh? The hand to hand. Yeah, look at some of these fucking takedowns. Sorry, I'm watching the trailer again. Can't wait. We had a very emotional trailer for a third-person climbing game called Cairn, and this really spoke to me because I'm super into climbing games. The more like mechanics you introduced and make like climbing the actual experience of the game, the better. I played Jusant, and like it was like just simmy enough, but it's still very arcadey. Cairn it looked very much like you're controlling the fucking limbs. You got to be careful with placements. Like, yeah, absolutely. I'm there.
We're not even halfway through the announcements of Summer Game Fest yet.
Ooh, here we go. Wander Stop. Actually, we gotta stop it. Wander Stop is a game developed by Ivy Road. It's their first game. Annapurna Interactive published from the creator of the Stanley Parable and the Beginner's Guide. Very excited about this one. Knowing what I know about playing the Stanley Parable, knowing what I know about that game, this will have some twist. Very cool. I'm going to keep pushing. Unknown 9 Awakening. Got a trailer. It's an unconventional fantasy game. More about that in topic of the show. Anotra, the last song, got another trailer. That is an Italian Renaissance Souls-like game coming out later this year. The First Descendant got announced. It's a sci-fi looter shooter coming at some point in the future.
Hell yeah.
Inner Sloth announced Outer Sloth, a website aimed at helping other developers develop their indie games. The more you play and buy into Among Us, the more money they had in that pool to help fund other games, which I thought was very cool. And then the Among Us TV show got a little like teaser, 30 seconds.
No voice acting, but
No voice acting.
Yeah.
The missed opportunity, I think, for me.
yeah. Especially with that cast that they showed off at the end. It's like, we got all these people, but wait a little bit. A little bit longer.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Sonic and Shadows Generations got another trailer, let me tell you.
Let me tell you.
I don't know. Haters be damned. I think I'm kind of excited for this one.
Who's hating? I mean, someone's always hating on Sonic. What am I saying?
Dog, they're out there. They're out there.
There's a lot of them. What
tell
am I
you.
saying? Yeah, I'm excited for this too. I like the shadow levels, and maybe you'll be able to tell us more later. But I've seen some like clips online of Sonic people play the shadow levels, and they look fun. They look like some good Sonic stuff.
More about that in topic of the show.
Good.
A trailer for Dune Awakening. I can see a narrow path, and it leads to you player. play this. Why don't you be the protagonist of this Dune world where there is no Lisan Al Gaib, no Kwisatz Haderach in an open world survival MMO? I don't know, man. I'm not into like these kinds of games, but every time I see shit from Dune Awakening, I'm like, you know what? This could persuade me. Unfortunately, this had no gameplay to do that, but I've just seen the shit on YouTube. This is like an okay CG trailer, whatever.
I was gonna say, I think we've seen like 3 CG trailers from this game already.
Yeah.
And what's weird is that I think you can find a plethora of gameplay footage out there, like up-to-date gameplay footage, but they never ever show it during some sort of event. It's just in the wild
On YouTube
to find. Yeah, you have to go find it yourself. Very strange. I don't know what they're doing with this game. And it's weird because it seems like they've got the licensing or some sort of agreement because they're using specifically Denis Villeneuve's art style for like the sand crawlers and the ornithopters. So it's kind of a tie-in, but not really. I don't know. The marketing in this is weird. They gotta nail that down.
Jason Schreier tweeted this, but I can also confirm this. Battle Aces got revealed at the Game Award. Sorry, Summer Game Fest. Can't believe I did that. At Summer Game Fest, and when Daniel Kim, one of the developers, I don't know what he is. Sorry, I don't think I have a title here for him. When he took the stage and revealed it is an RTS game, senior game director, and then showed the game, there was indeed an audible groan from the audience. They were. Please, go ahead.
The fuck? Come on. Why is there RTS heat from the crowd?
I don't think it's the fact that it's an RTS. It's the fact that it like led up with that amazing trailer that did not reflect what the gameplay was at all.
Which is why CD trailer or like just trailers like that are always like can be hit or miss. Show me what the game is, right? What is the game? But from my understanding, Battle Aces was good on the show floor.
It looks cool. I might be into checking this one out. I love my RTSs.
At this point in the show, I opened up my phone and texted Gage, and I said, let's play the finals, because Season 3 got announced, and it's like Japan-inspired. There's like swords and throwing knives, and it looked like a lot of fun. I'll tell you what.
The new map looks fucking gorgeous. Oh my god.
Yeah. I'm down to play, dude. I'm down to play.
Dan and I, you know what? I mean, myself more than Dan, but Dan and I and friends, we play it regularly.
All right. Well, I guess I'm not friends.
No,
What?
I guess you're not.
What do you mean not me? I play it every time you want to play it.
Right, but what I'm saying is I play this as much as you play Halo Infinite.
Well, that's fair, but I'm not going to play this game by myself.
That's fair. Dan is at home. He's there whenever I need him to squad up. The finals continues to be a fantastic game with not enough players playing it. So, Christian, boot up for the finals, baby.
I will. I'm there. I'm going to speed up a little bit this time for real. Alan Wake 2 got a physical edition announced. Very cool. Congratulations to them. And then Night Springs DLC got announced as well. 3 playable protagonists, none of them Alan Wake. And that released already. That it was like releasing tomorrow, but at this point in recording, it's already out. I can't wait to play it whenever I have the time. And spoilers, I don't have the time. There's too much shit out there to play, but I'll make time for this. I heard it's not very long. Thumbs up from everyone.
Hell yeah.
Right, Daniel? Yeah, there you
yes.
go. Amazon's MMO New World is getting an expansion and coming to consoles later this year. Okay. Honkai Star Rail is getting a new patch. Fuck yeah.
Okay.
All right. Dark and Darker was announced, and actually the people behind me really pop for this. Like they're like, wait, what?
This game is a banger. I played it when it was originally on Steam. There was a huge legal issue with the developers. It got taken off Steam for like a year, and now it's making its way back. I've heard some complaints. Apparently, it came back in a lesser form. I don't know about that, but when I originally played this game, very charming indie medieval high fantasy take on the Tarkov sort of style of gameplay. Very cool.
There you go. There you have it. Kunitsugami Path of the Goddess, upcoming Capcom game. It's like both real-time action, but also an element of strategy, a little bit of both. Cool art style. Another trailer for that game. Hyper Light Breaker got another trailer. This was also available to play on the show. I don't think there was an embargo for this. That's why I put it in our topic of the show later. Oh, Party Animals, man. an update for that game. I saw that. I was like, please, let's hop back. There's a fucking karting level.
Art
Oh
racing.
wow, that's cool.
Yeah. I'm very excited for what that game, like the featured content update for this game is going to be pretty cool. Skate got a new trailer, and they are still working on it. Probably a long ways away for that one to go. But I mean, if they need more time to cook, then sure, I'll happily wait.
If only
Tim
you
Robinson,
could play
man.
that game, you know?
We can, because console playtesting arrives in fall 2024, and in order for me to get my shirt, they said, we would love it if you also, like, sign up for the playtest. And I was like, I already did, but I'll do it again for the console this time. So, there you have it. I signed up. Pal World got an update, and Jeff Keighley was like, all right. After he showed that, he was, like, very, like, down about it. I don't know what the fuck was going on there. And then Valorant confirmed is coming to consoles, and all the footage they showed from that was on console capture. Very exciting, I'm sure. Monster Hunter Wilds got a new trailer, and let me tell you, this game is shaping out to be pretty cool. I think I am totally going to be jumping into this. And then the show, hell yeah. Then the show ended with Phantom Blade Zero.
Also, hell yeah.
Very excited to see this. It can confirm it's a real fucking game. More about that on topic of the show.
Sweet.
I am going to be pulling Dan and Gage heavy with our recap of the Xbox Games Showcase. Real quick, expectations for this show before it premiered last week. We said, which are we most excited for? I mentioned I'm most excited for this one. Before we get into the actual specifics, how do you guys feel about the Xbox Games Showcase? You guys streamed it. Did you guys enjoy it?
Yeah, it was great.
Four big in total, 4 big thumbs up.
Despite the number of times that me and Gage were, well, mainly me, but were confused during certain sections, which I'm sure once we get to them, we'll tell you.
I think I mentioned on the podcast the week before, that with all the hot water Xbox was in, it would be smart for them to come out really strong. And it seems like they definitely did that, because a lot of people are very high on this showcase, and I can see why. It was very tight, it was concise, and it was packed full of good stuff.
Why is the Xbox Wire fucking article is not in order? What the
It's in
hell?
like the opposite order, it looks like. Oh no, it's not even the opposite order.
No, yeah, because
Isn't it alphabetical? It is. It's alphabetical.
I hate that. It's so dumb.
I think it's easy to see why that's the case, and I think when I first watched it, like, I actually agreed, like, oh, they are proving themselves to be like, no, we're still very healthy. But I think, like, once you dissect it a little bit, like, some of the stuff there that was shown, that was surprised and that I was very happy to see, is still like, well, you can maybe, like, critique this, like, what was shown isn't, like, we'll talk about that. But also there's still, like, the very big question of, like, Phil at the IGN live show said that they closed down Tango to be sustainable. And it's like, well, if that's the case, what is sustainable for them? Like, any of these could close down if that's the reason.
I saw that clip. I watched the interview, but I saw that clip specifically. He also kind of dodged the question, because Ryan McCaffrey, when he asked that, he was asking why Tango. Like we all understand that it's a business and you got to close things, but when he mentioned, like, all the metrics that it hit and asked why Tango, and Phil just kind of responded with, well, we're a business, we got to make business decisions. He didn't really explain as to why he chose that studio, which was super disappointing. And I was hoping that Ryan would press him on that, but you can only do so much when you're in a professional setting like that.
But I also find it very weird. I don't know who had to do this, if it was like IGN's decision or Xbox's. They, like, prep the audience. This is confirmed now on Twitter, by saying, like, hey, the more loud you are, the more free stuff we'll give you to, like, the crowd. We're gonna be, like, giving you free stuff. So that when the Phil Spencer interview came up, all the people that were, like, being loud, like, if you respond louder when he says shit, well, very weird practice. I don't know. Anyway, unfortunate timing for Phil for that to happen. But go ahead.
This is pure speculation. Me and Gage talked off air about this, but I still think that Tango was chosen because of their totality of their works, and I fucking love The Evil Within and The Evil Within 2, but those games didn't sell at all, like at all. And Ghostwire didn't do well. So effectively, Hi-Fi Rush was their only success, and that game is already a bit niche, I think, for like the mainstream. Like, I don't think that mainstream people are going out to buy that. So I would suspect that that's why, but I don't know why Phil wouldn't, kind of
Say
be
that.
a little bit more, transparent with that, unless, there's some reason why he doesn't want to, whether it's legal or if, I don't know.
Anything's better than what he's been doing. I don't know why he wouldn't say that.
But why do? Okay, go ahead. No, never mind.
Here's what I'm going to do for the Xbox Wire article. I actually am going to go from bottom to top because the smaller stuff, for the way the X. Go ahead.
I put another article if you want the one in order. If you'd prefer it in order.
Oh, interesting. You know what? I'll say no, but thank you.
Okay.
Normally I would, but this way I think we'll be able to breeze through the like smaller stuff we may have less to say about faster, and then just save the other stuff for later. Hardware announcements. The new Xbox Series X all digital has been revealed. Don't think we have any notes on price point unless that was put up later in another post. Is that correct? Or when that comes out? Or is that later this year?
I think it's the fall, and the price points are all released as well. The Series S 1 terabyte is $349.99 in Robot White. It's the same as the black Series S 1 terabyte. It's just a white option. The Series X digital edition, I believe, was $449, and then the 2 terabyte Series X was $599.
How do you feel about the two-tone on that Series X? Because I think that's the one with like it's all black and then green base.
Oh, that looks sick. I love the green accent.
But you won't see it.
Well,
You see it kind of from emanating from underneath.
yeah, you would definitely see it. I mean,
You're right. Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Sure. Yeah. There you go. There you go.
it's just a little accent,
But the controller though, that one you don't like, huh? The two-tone.
I don't mind it if it's an accent. I just don't like. My issue is when you break up where's an example?
Oh, you got him going.
Like, for
Yeah, I wanted
instance,
to rip 'em up.
for instance, like
Like
this,
this, man?
this
You don't
can
like this?
this
That's how it is, isn't it?
no,
That's exactly how it is.
that's fine,
Right?
no.
It's all black here, and then they've got lime green here, I think, for the new one, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
oh. This is what I hate. Okay, so you
Mm-hmm.
have white controller, you have black
Beautiful.
here, then it's
Beautiful.
white again, and then it's
Yeah.
black again. Like, could we just make this whole front black and then the whole back white and then black?
Can I ask something, Dan? What
Yeah,
is it
weirdo.
about colors and harmony that you don't like?
What's the problem? Celebrate
Dan,
that.
why aren't your fucking shorts red in the front and white in the back? You fucking weirdo.
It's fucking
All right, let's move on to the show. Let's move on.
all blue.
That's
is-
too blue.
that's-
It's a nice shade of blue, but that's too blue.
We got live service announcements for some games for World of Warcraft, Starfield Shattered Space, Sea of
Which
Thieves,
article are
Season
you pulling
13.
from?
Xbox Wire. I'm reading from bottom to top.
You're reading from bottom to top. Okay. All right. I'm following along now.
Fallout 76 Skyline Valley got a release date.
They almost got us again with that.
They did. But they had a. you
Dan
put
and I
76
were so
Yeah.
on
Put
edge.
76 at the top and you'll know. Like, okay, yeah.
I think there was an audible sigh from both of us when we saw the 76 logo or something, because we were both just ready. Oh,
Yeah, so got an update as well as Diablo 4. Now on to reveals and trailers and such. Wu Chang Fallen Feathers was revealed. I don't remember this one. Which one was this one?
It's like another Dark Souls type.
Yes, Dark Souls Light. I think they said.
Japanese, or it looks like it is samurai-esque.
Oh, I think you're right. Yeah, it's a Souls-like action RPG. Launches day one on Xbox Series X and S. Are we getting too many Souls-likes these days? Sure. Are we getting too many like Asian-inspired Souls-like games? Absolutely. And yet, you put one in front of me, it's a little bit like dangling keys. I might still like have you on the periphery. Maybe you might be good.
Right.
I don't know. Parry and dodging make me go brr.
And all these
when-
games are Game Pass games, right?
I gotta say,
Yeah, a lot
was
of
the
them.
graphic getting a little bit much?
It's like, yeah, we get it. It's Game Pass.
Because there was like one
Yeah.
or two games that don't have it, but then you're spending like 5 seconds, like
Yeah.
after each of them, like it's okay.
Maybe they next year they need to lead with the couple of games that aren't in Game Pass, and then just say from here on out the rest of the games are Game Pass.
Or even talk about it after the fact in Xbox Wire, right? Like just give the games their time because they already save a lot of crucial information, like the pricing on the new hardware that didn't come out until they saved that for the Xbox Wire. So like, why not just show a bunch of these cool games and then afterwards you go to look it up on the Xbox Wire? Oh, I don't have to pay for this. Cool.
Well, hold on. When the like splash screen of the game comes up and it says either the date or like the platforms, it'll always say Xbox and Game
Right.
Pass and PC. So you already know it's coming to Game Pass.
True.
I don't
Yeah,
know if I
enough.
need the additional like splash fade in and then coming to Game Pass and then fade out. Like we just saw it was on Game. I don't know. I'm just being a hater. Because I'm very happy that like it seems like Game Pass is thriving if this is the case. We've made our critiques before, but like come on. There's a lot riding on this. Well, we'll get there when we get there. Please, probably one of the bigger stuff on this Xbox Wire. Winterboro is a cozy survival experience game inspired by a love of nature that's coming early 2025. The Xbox Game Pass, Xbox and PC. Let me tell you, man, this fucking Stalker 2 trailer had me. I can't wait. I can't fucking wait.
Yes.
I gotta play it, dude. I gotta play it. I super pumped for this.
Gage and I were saying the same thing on the live stream. We're like, this looks fucking awesome.
I think this might be the single trailer that I was most sort of taken aback by in a good way. You know what I mean? Like just kind of like, wow, this looks better than I was expecting it to. The gameplay looks silky smooth. Because people forget this isn't like a shooter. Like these games are like RPGs. Like this is like a fucking open world sort of slog you got to go through, and the game looks smooth as butter and gorgeous. Very excited for Stalker 2.
Coming in 2025, this was my personal game of the show. This comes from developers Beethoven and Dinosaur, developers of The Artful Escape. This is Mixtape, an indie game with, they got the rights to a lot of different artists, including Devo, Lush, Smashing Pumpkins, Joy Division, Sushi and the Banshees, Iggy Pop. This is entirely my type of shit. Very excited that a lot of people also are excited for this game, including fellow sicko and Nintendo aficionado Roshan Werner.
Yes, this is my Life is Strange is in here too, so I better watch my mouth. But this was this was really close to a game of the show for me as well. I just the vibes are there, man. I just love the vibes, immaculate vibes. I think is what I said in the chat when I was watching Gage and Den watch this show. And it's funny that it's close to being my game of show without any gameplay, I guess. Maybe it was gameplay, but I love games like this where it's just an experience and the art style is amazing and just get lost in the story. So I'm looking forward to it. I love the character designs and again, immaculate vibes. I love it.
Got another trailer for Metal Gear Solid Delta. This time it showed up at an Xbox showcase. We also got confirmation that Virtuous missions are going to be returning at MGS Delta. No date yet. I think there was like some kind of rumbling that it might come out later this year, but I think that was confirmed false.
Yeah. These games are always goofy as hell. I was telling Gage while we were watching, I'm like, the dude's laying in mud like 6 inches from the enemy, and he somehow doesn't see him. Like that
He's just like
goofiness
this.
is what has always turned me
You
off.
don't understand. You don't understand. You can cover yourself in the mud. That's a mechanic.
Right.
And then you have a percentage for how camouflaged you are.
And I
I
get
think
that.
Dan's
But
issue was that he was protruding from the mud, pointing
Yeah.
the gun at somebody's face as he was walking by. But but also at the same time, that's just video game logic.
Right.
That's just you're camouflaged, and now you're camouflaged. You could make the same argument for Splinter Cell walking around with this fucking glowing green suit with his light bars and huh? What was that noise?
Must be
Well,
the
that's
wind.
infrared. That's infrared. That's different.
I don't get it, Dan. In the first game, Psycho Mantis can read your memory card, and you have to switch controller ports to fight him. Come on now. Mecha Break revealed. No, it was at SGF. What are you talking about? But yeah, I had another trailer, and this is where Dan was like, Gundam?
No, Gage. Gage said that.
Gage was like, Gundam?
Because
What
I
an
was
idiot. What a stupid idiot for thinking that this was Gundam. Who would watch this and think Gundam? God, I'm just the worst.
Fool.
Agreeing with Roshan, indeed, one of the best reveals out of nowhere was Life is Strange Double Exposure, a murder mystery starring returning protagonist Max Caulfield. Holy shit, I'm in.
So in. This girl can't catch a break, man. She keeps having to save her friends that keep dying, or potentially.
True.
Can I ask you guys a question? At what point do we start investigating Max?
Like, why do your friends keep?
Why do all of your friends keep dying?
Oh my goodness. Well, it's technically only 2, but it
Is
is
it only 2
crazy
friends?
that it happened twice.
If I said, "Ro, nice to meet you," I've only had 2 of my close friends die near me. You're gonna be like, "Oh, it's only 2."
It's actually more than that. In the first game, her powers start because someone in the school got shot in the bathroom.
That's true.
Right.
That's
And then,
true.
like, later
I
in the
don't-
day, someone wants to kill themselves, and you have to stop that by, like, convincing them not
That's
to
true.
jump off the...
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, maybe we
Yeah.
should investigate Max. Never
Remember
mind.
this?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. A lot of people are saying that it doesn't look like Max, which I kind of agree with, but at the same time, I'm glad they upped the graphics. You know, that's okay.
It doesn't look like Max. Bitch, first of all, 1, she's older,
exactly.
and 2, graphics a little bit nicer. Graphics a little bit...
That was
Compare what they're doing to what Telltale did, and the fact that they've done like what 3-4 games, and their graphical fidelity has improved like tenfold compared to like I love Telltale, but man, they put out fucking 20 games and they barely got any better from the first one.
the one part of this. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I was going to say that I think this is that is true, but I think this is Deck 9 now instead of Don't Nod, who made the first game and the second game.
Oh,
Yeah.
So it's a
fair enough.
different developer technically, but these are the guys who did True Colors, which also looked a lot better than the original one.
Yes.
The one part I laughed at in this trailer was when they showed the close-up shot of his badge that just says a generic police detective. I'm like, all right.
Just so you know.
Yeah.
God.
Fragpunk, a 5v5 hero shooter with like card abilities that affect not just yourself but other opponents in the arena, was revealed. I can't say more.
I thought it looked
That was-
fine.
Yeah.
this was fun.
Thought it looked cool.
I
The
like
card thing was a cool
mechanics, yeah.
twist, and not just like, oh, cards are just a replacement for abilities. Like some of the cards affect the map and stuff. I'm like, okay, that's kind of neat.
Mhm. When is this? Did this get a date at all? No.
Uh,
Coming 2025. So no date, but year. Okay. Looks pretty cool.
Absolutely. We got another look at the Souls-like game that was announced. I think also another Xbox showcase prior. Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn, that arrives this year, July 18th. Next month.
we need a
Dragon
more
Age
Souls
the-
game.
Thank you, Daniel. We do, don't we? Enough, all right? We get it. Dragon Age, The Veilguard, got another trailer, but also got some more stuff. Where did it get more at? Ubi's thing?
No.
No. I think they did it on their own, I believe.
PC gaming, maybe? I don't know.
It might have been. But I think that was today or yesterday. BioWare, right?
Gameplay premiere was yesterday.
Okay, yeah. Thoughts on Dragon Age? The new Dragon Age? The Veilguard?
I'm interested.
New art style, yeah. Different play style.
Yeah, I played the first 2 games. I played the first more than the second one, and then I didn't play Inquisition at all. But I really actually enjoyed the party system, and I don't normally enjoy games that have the party system, so I'm interested to see more from this game. See if I'm gonna be interested in going back. Hopefully, BioWare can turn it around. They've been on a rough stretch.
A lot of people saw this UE5 generic CG trailer and they're like, "What is this, dude?" Like, and then all of a sudden it turns into a like AAA looking turn-based RPG, and everyone was like, "What the fuck? Are we in? Are we back?" And let me tell you, I think I was one of those people. I'm interested. I'm not super interested, but Expedition 33 is that game.
I was gonna say Dragon Age is turn-based. I am no longer interested.
No.
you're talking about Expedition 33. I thought this was Greedfall 2, but yeah, this is not Greedfall 2.
I went through the exact same train of thought when watching the trailer. Christian just mentioned, like, I was like, "Oh, this looks really pretty," and then they started doing a lot of walking. It's like, okay, and I think Gage literally mentioned, it's like, "Oh wow, they're walking." It's like, "Oh, running now, interesting." That's exactly what I was thinking. And then like Christian said, they showed off the combat. I was like, "Oh, this looks fun. This looks pretty." Like this, like the combat looked interesting, and I liked the world that they were setting up in the walking parts. So put those two together, hopefully have an engaging game, but have to see more for sure.
We got to look at this like sci-fi open world, maybe sci-fi kind of immersive simi game called Atomfall. Inspired by a real-world nuclear disaster that occurred in northern England in 1957. You explore a fictional storyline where you find yourself in the quarantine zone 5 years after the event. I'm kind of curious about this one.
British Fallout, perchance?
Yeah. Yeah, I think Gage and I were combining Fallout with what was the other one we were combining?
I can't remember.
I can't even. But yeah, it looks cool. It looks very cool.
And then we got Assassin's Creed Shadows' first gameplay glimpse, but more of that the UB Forward and more of that in topic of the show. Until then, State of Decay 3 update. Gage, talk to me.
I don't have to shave my head for the show, so it was a good day. No
Gameplay.
Well,
No
yeah, they're doing the whole kind of like there was a few times where the camera would snap to behind a person, and I'm like, okay, this is probably like reminiscent of what the gameplay will look like, but we didn't see any HUD, we didn't see any sort of unedited gameplay, we'll say. But the graphics look better. And I wish I would have seen more if I'm being honest, but at least we got to see what the visual tone looks like, and yeah, I mean, I'm excited, man. I think this franchise has a lot of potential, and each game's getting better and better, and apparently behind the scenes this game is really shaping up, so color me excited.
We have a lot to get to, so I'm not going to read this, but Clobrill has a bunch more details he posted on his Twitter account about this game as well. So I definitely recommend checking that out. One of the tidbits is the Coalition is assisting them with Unreal Engine 5, which is very good because Coalition is pretty much technical wizards with Unreal Engine. So
they are masters of that engine, absolutely.
Apparently, they just help everyone now with Unreal Engine. That's what's being talked about, that they have a separate team just for Unreal Engine that helps first-party devs.
Compulsion Games showed off the first gameplay for South of Midnight, and I got to tell you, I was originally pretty disappointed that the art style from the cutscenes was entirely absent from the gameplay. I was a little bit bummed.
Huh?
What?
Was that crazy?
I think that is crazy. Yeah. What? Is it not? I thought that's exactly how it looked in the trailer.
The how would you call it? Like being animated on twos.
I'm pretty sure when she was running around, they kept that.
Right. Yeah. They did.
Oh, am I crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. It definitely is.
It looked like it was, but I think I saw people saying what Christian's saying as well, where they wish it was like that, how the cutscenes looked in
whole
gameplay.
game.
But from what I saw, it seemed like she was moving like a little bit not slower than the boss, but it looked like she was animated differently. So I don't know. It's hard to do that for combat though, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? Well,
And that was what I ended up. Yeah.
I think she is animated like that, but thinking back
Right.
on it, I think maybe the enemies aren't, and maybe for things like readability and iframes and stuff like that, where it's like you just can't. But she is absolutely like 2-frame animated, because she's when the gameplay demo starts and she's just jogging, it's very noticeable.
yeah, and I'm looking at her attacks against the monster, and she's like definitely doing like she's hitting those frames a little bit slower than or more harder than the boss. It looks like, so it looks like they were able to keep it for her.
Yeah.
But not the.
This is a personal thing where I just felt like that discrepancy lost a bit of
Yeah.
that charm for me.
For sure.
But otherwise, the gameplay looks like solid, and I would gather that like you would have to make that compromise, like if you want like this kind of gameplay, and if that's the case, and it makes the gameplay like feel and run better, then absolutely.
Yeah, I think this game looks sick. I'm very excited for this game, and obviously Compulsion had a very hard way to go with We Happy Few, which had a really cool story premise, but then the gameplay was kind of dumb. So I'm excited to see a cool story and gameplay mix here from them.
I'm rooting for them. I'm like, yeah, because they had you nailed it, Dan. I'm rooting for them. I want them to be successful. And there's just something about this character design, like this. I think her name's Hazel. I'm just in. I'm sold. I'm in. I will protect this woman with my life.
It's also a setting you don't really get a lot of either.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Very cool. Let's get spicy with the next one.
Yeah. I gotta say, Perfect Dark got another gameplay. Did not expect Perfect Dark to show up here. I understand why some people were like, well, you know, this doesn't quite look like the quadruple A game that I think was originally promised.
Right.
The closer it looks, the more like, I guess, closer looks to like other games that have already released, right? However, I still think this looks pretty good. I still think this looks like almost like it's a nice medium between being like immersive simmy, but also something that's a bit more like high paced and actiony. I was kind of in. I don't know how you guys felt.
Yeah, I mean, well, to preface, this was one of the games that I was confused on from the jump, and Gage called it while she was in midair. He's like, "Is this Perfect Dark?" And I was like, "What? No, what?" And then they showed Joanna up close, and I was like, that looks nothing like what she looked like in the reveal trailer, and you know, historically what Joanna Dark looks like. So I was like, what the fuck's going on here? This is not Perfect Dark. And then we were watching it, and I'm like, oh, I guess it is Perfect Dark. Here it is. But personally, I was pretty excited about it. I mean, I watched the gameplay and I was like, all right, yes, I have the same sentiment of what you were saying, Christian. It doesn't quite seem like it's like a quadruple A game like they were advertising, which I think that's a product of all the development turnover and changes that they've made with Crystal now leading development essentially. So yeah, I'm still very excited about this game. And then we got more information as well after the show, which again, go to Clobrill's Twitter account. He has a ton more information on this game, and it has me very excited for Perfect Dark.
It's strange. I've looked on Twitter and like kind of seen the feedback online. So I will completely preface this and say I am in the minority. Everybody seems to be digging this, and I'm as a fan of the Perfect Dark franchise, that makes me happy. But I don't know how to explain it because it just like as plain as day looks like it to me. But like, man, I was seeing some of these animations and it looked like a mobile game. I think that what I saw the gun looked very blocky and wasn't lighting right and looked very chonky and weird. And the takedown animations, everybody was loving the takedown animations, but I'm like, this to me looks like a mobile game. I don't know what everybody else is seeing. I love that Perfect Dark is getting hyped, and I know I'm in the minority here, but I was super disappointed with what I saw. The write up afterwards and like sort of them describing what the game is gonna be like, I think sounds good on paper, but I have yet to see anything that I think matches that sort of thing. So I don't know. This one was weird for me.
I thought Dan was gonna respond. He looked. He was getting ready to say something.
No. I made my comments. He made his comments. We just disagree.
Hey, most of the internet agrees with Dan too. Like I said, so it's just me being me, I guess.
We were watching it on the live stream back again, and I was like trying to figure out what Gage was talking about in terms of the animations, and I personally don't see it.
I don't know how
but
to describe it
get
because
it.
I can't see
I get
anything
it.
other than what I see. Where I'm
It's-
like, this looks bad.
It's like if you remove. They do it like where if you remove a couple frames to make it look like just a bit like snappier and punchier, and it has that like just maybe a little bit of a disorienting effect. It is also a game, to Gage's credit, like the closer you like analyze that game, if you like zoom in a little bit, the like weirder some of the like textures in that game look. Like it looks like it's still like pretty work in progress.
It looks like when the enemies are dying, it's not a mocap animation and it's not physics. It's like somebody just kind of frame by frame was like, this is how a person dies, and then they just kind of do this weird flail and fall, and I don't know. Doesn't look good to me. And I think maybe the reason why I'm so harsh on it is because I do have that expectation of like this was advertised as like this is gonna be Xbox's version of like a Naughty Dog game. This is our quadruple A, and I saw this and I was like, oof. The fucking Gears 6 looks leagues ahead better, or Gears 5, sorry, looks leagues better than this. This is rough. But I'm rooting for it. I would love for Perfect Dark to be back again, because man, that first game especially, it was just fantastic.
For the sake of time, we'll move on to Flight Sim 2024. It's coming out November 19th. Very excited for that one. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle got another extended look. How you guys feeling about this one?
I think this trailer again got me very excited for it. I love the cheekiness of it, and Machine Games I think absolutely has killed it, so I trust the hell out of them. And I mean, this was a largely cinematic trailer, but I'm very excited about it in terms of Machine Games making this.
It's a big day for boomers everywhere for this game.
Well, I'll say this from what I've seen of this game, and of course I watched Dial of Destiny. That was James Mangold's movie. This one feels closer to Spielberg than the latest Indiana Jones, which I think is impressive. Like if they were to capture that energy, that's huge. Anyway, speaking of Gears of War E-Day was revealed. It's I guess you could call it somewhat of a prequel since it's set before Gears 3. Correct.
No, it's set before the original game.
Set before the original game.
Yep.
Jeff Keighley out here spreading lies that what you saw wasn't real.
And then unnecessarily doubling down, which is the strangest thing to see. Holy.
To which someone from the coalition was like, "No, this is all real time in engine." They're very excited.
Well,
what they go ahead.
To clarify that, it was someone from no. It was someone from the Blizzard team that chimed in and said, "Well, no, this is real time and Unreal Engine." But then there was more clarity that it came out that it is not real time, but it is in engine. So either way, it was weird of Jeff to just randomly point out and say this was made by
cinematics.
Yeah, well, he was like, this was made by this team instead of like the coalition. Like it was really weirdly pointed, in my opinion. And I was like, all right,
I don't know why he did that. That was
It's
strange.
not like one of the only games he did that for. Like all these other trailers came and went, and he was like, "Hey, by the way, that Gears one, not real." It's like, all right, okay.
Which, anyways, why
wouldn't he just ask?
That? Nobody was thinking about that at all. Right? It's even if it is a cinematic pre-rendered, it's like the cool cinematic trailer.
And
like,
why would he not just ask?
Yeah, that's
like,
a whole other conversation, though. Talking about the actual reveal itself, it got me very excited. Again, though, this was another one I was confused as hell on. And Gage was probably like, what the fuck? Dan doesn't even know his shit here. And the reason why I was confused was because we were expecting either a Marcus Phoenix collection, including the original trilogy, or Gear 6, and instead we got a prequel that takes place 15 years before the original Gears of War. So we're seeing Marcus and Dom 15 years younger. So I was confused as fuck because Marcus's headband gets knocked off at one point in the trailer, and I'm like, is that JD? Because JD's his son who is in Gears 4 and 5. And I'm like, is that fucking JD? That looks like fucking JD. Like, I'm so confused right now. And it turned out it was not JD. It was just very young Marcus, which makes sense because he's younger, roughly the same age as JD is in the later games. But yeah, I don't know.
I'm going to say something that's going to make Dan mad. at me.
Here we go. Yeah, here we go.
I heard the Mad World piano rendition and I got pissed off.
What?
I was like, I'm so far out.
That was amazing.
The fucking nostalgia bait of this trailer.
No,
Remember the
that's
Gears
not.
trailer you loved so much?
No.
Here it is again.
Hard disagree. That's not what they were doing. They were targeting the emotion of the original game. The original game was lauded by...
bait.
No, the original game was lauded for its horror and its hopelessness feel to it, and that is the point of that music being in there.
No. What it was like a reference to the trailer, the Mad World trailer that everyone loves so much.
Right, but the tone of that trailer was setting the tone for the game, is what I'm saying. That it's not. They're not putting it in there just to appeal to people just for nostalgia. I don't agree with that.
I think that's mostly the reason, because you could set that tone with any number of songs, right? Just to set a horror, like a hopeless sort of tone. But there's a lot more songs than just that one that exists. They were
correct.
They were kind of harkening back to that old trailer.
I'm not saying they weren't, but that wasn't. They didn't include it just to say, "Oh, yep, there's the nostalgia check." Boom. Like, it's not, in my opinion, I think that's discrediting what they're doing in this trailer, because, like, I don't know, man. I love Gears and I love the Coalition and what they've been doing, and I don't agree with that. That's what they were thinking when they put this trailer together. I just don't.
They definitely didn't use it by accident.
I'm not saying they used it by accident, Gage. I just explained what my point was.
And I thought it was a great trailer, but I think that they did use that to call back to the first one. But
again, I'm not
a bad thing. It doesn't need to be a bad thing. Christian didn't like it, and Dan liked it.
Oh yeah, that's what. Yeah, I'm just being a hater. Irrespective of the music,
I thought it was awesome.
Irrespective of the music, though, as a trailer, like, people are really jazzed about E-Day. Like, as like a setting, for what I've seen online, people are like stoked for this.
Well, for what got me hyped was when most of the trailer takes place inside, just one-on-one fighting, and then at the very end, you get this sort of wide shot as the camera pulls back, and you see a human city. That what excited me was that it looked like the human city, like it was very much like day one of, like, a lot of the lights are still on, the city's still kind of like functioning, and then you just also see all this shit going down. I like stuff like that. Dan and I have talked about, like, Fear the Walking Dead. Dan and I used to, Dan more so than myself, but I used to be a huge Walking Dead fan. And when Fear the Walking Dead came around, and the whole premise was like, you're gonna see it how it began, and then you see that for like one episode, and then it immediately cuts to, like, oh, actually it takes place a few months in. I love when games that are catastrophic go back to, like, the very first day. You get to see shit unfolding. So if they spend a lot of time there, where it's like the whole game takes place within, like, a month of everything happening, that would be really cool.
Is Marcus Phoenix bald in the original trilogy?
I don't think so.
He doesn't.
He doesn't take off the bandana.
I don't think he takes his bandana off until, like, Gears 3.
So maybe he is.
Well, because when the bandana fell off, I heard someone yell, like, he's got hair. Like, where did I hear this from?
Yeah.
No, we were streaming it somewhere. Like, I heard someone say he's got hair. I was like, well, so is he bald? No, but I remember the bandana.
I mean, he has hair. It's just you can only see, like, the sideburns because of his bandana. So,
right.
Does Marcus Phoenix take Rogaine, do we think?
What is the horse?
But
No, testosterone, horse drink.
Oh, ivermectin.
Yeah, there you go. That's what he takes.
To make my final point on the actual content of this game, instead of arguing about whether or not something's nostalgia bait or not, I'm gonna say that this setting for this game looks amazing, and I think that the idea of going back to the roots of the franchise of being horror based and you're feeling hopeless, whereas in the newer games you're feeling like you're kind of in charge essentially. I think this is a really cool throwback for them to experiment with the franchise a little bit more. And it's cool that the Coalition has the flexibility from their leadership to allow them to do this kind of stuff, like, and not just, let's go churn out Gears 6, just
Right.
because.
We then got another trailer for Playgrounds Fable, which again, this is one I was not expecting to be here either, but it's another trailer with I think more like shots that do look in game. I know Gage and Dan the first time that got released, we're having a back and forth as to whether or not that was in game, but
I stand
functionally
corrected.
look the same. Like it does look like it's like in engine, like running real time.
Yeah, it looks very good. I think Playground's another high quality Xbox studio. I think Coalition and Playground are kind of at the top of Microsoft's studios, in my opinion. So I'm very excited for Fable and the new take on Fable, because the original Fable games really didn't cater to me necessarily, but this definitely seems to be.
Here's a fucking highlight, baby. All meat, no filler. Doom the Dark Ages coming Xbox 2025. It's got a shield now, shield with spikes. You rev it and throw it, bounces back at you.
Dude, he gets on the dragon, and I was like, this is fucking sick. Like, that is awesome.
Here, I'm gonna take Christian out of the hot seat. I'm gonna sit in that seat myself. If E-Day using that song as nostalgia bait, I feel like Doom sometimes is metal bait. Because you sitting here and describing, he's got a shield now with spikes on it, and I'm like, yeah, it looks cool, but a part of me is kind of like, man, they could have they got 5 14-year-olds in a boardroom and were like, what's fucking cool? And these kids just
And they
told
were
them,
right. And those
and-
kids
Yeah.
were right.
and
They
I
are.
guess they were right. I think this looks fine, but man, everybody is fucking. He's got a cape now. His armor's the exact same, except he's got a fucking cape. Let's
Oh,
go.
The cape I'm
does
on-
make
the
it
cape I'm on-
cooler, but, like,
No, the
fuck,
cape
I
I'm whatever
hate it.
about, but this is a new mechanic. That is actually interesting. Instead of just new weapons, it's a new mechanic.
That's
shield?
true. That is
Yeah.
true. You got the parry and all that stuff. Yeah.
And the mech.
There's a gun that crushes skulls.
Yeah, of course there is.
Oh god.
Yeah,
Capes
it
are
looks cool.
cool.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Of course, Call of Duty 6 got a Black Ops 6. We got more info here again as well, confirmed by Phil Spencer himself at the opening of the show. It is coming day one to Xbox Game Pass. 300 gigabytes just for you.
Which they
Well, we've done some
clarified.
digging.
Yeah.
Dan and I did some digging because I was on a tangent about that. Gage was not a happy camper. Apparently, 300 gigs is assuming you have Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3,
Warzone.
and Warzone and Black Ops 6 installed. That's
Correct.
the complete package.
Thank God.
Apparently, it's 100 and what?
100?
149.
Yeah, I think so.
149 for the entire package.
That's
Now, you
still a
said-
lot.
That's
But-
still a lot. It's exactly. It's still way too much. I want to stop you here because you said, and of course we have Black Ops 6. So we're just gonna roll right through it. This is the best Call of Duty showing I've seen in a very long time. This game looks very, very good in my opinion.
I
I'm really
agree.
liking what I see.
No, it's gonna be fun.
movement-
On the
it's
direction of
all-
movement.
Yeah, it seems like it's always Treyarch that takes the big step forward, and now that they have extra time to cook, we could have gotten another fucking play-by-play Call of Duty that looks the exact same as Modern Warfare, but they're taking time to do things. The HUD customization elements
That was
were
cool.
really cool. Tons of stuff that they showed off that I really, really like, and of course we're getting 2 zombies maps at launch, which is nice. Bunch of stuff. very, very happy with this showing. Is Call of Duty back? Might be.
We'll see. We'll find out.
For free.
Age of Mythology Retold got a gameplay trailer. RTS game that uses different mythologies. Then Avowed got a new look. Did Gage, are you sold on Avowed now after seeing this?
I did see an improvement, I think, in terms of the fluidity of gameplay. And Dan, they didn't talk about this in the show, I don't think. Dan pointed it out afterwards. But if they wanted to get their Gage Dempster numbers up, they definitely should have advertised this more. But you can play the game in third person now, which is very, very cool. I like that a lot. Even just having the option, just having the ability to flip back and forth is a big deal for me, especially in a game like this. So,
Yeah.
Very cool stuff. I think I am sold on Avowed now. Yeah.
And once again, Clobril had a bunch of info. That's what I sent Gage after the showcase, which, yeah, this game looks awesome. I've talked about how I love the Outer Worlds. I'm very excited about this.
I'm just hovering on the article here that we're using to go through this. And again, that fucking key art, man. Incredible.
It's solid key art, right?
Incredible key art. Oh my god.
Yeah, absolutely. Key art goes a long way. Key art goes a long way. Ubisoft Forward, smaller showcase but substantial. It was meaty. They showed off some meaty stuff. The two I'm referencing with that is of course Star Wars Outlaws, and then Assassin's Creed Shadows. Let's bundle those into topic of the show because I played and saw both of those. That way we can get your guys' both reactions in there as well.
I will be right back.
Okay.
Continue.
Dan, then you and me get to make fun of Prince of Persia getting re-revealed, sort of, with like a teaser that said it's coming in 2026. That was crazy to me, dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I guess they restarted development, we heard, with a new developer. Yeah, which... Yeah, why would you reveal this with just a splash screen that says 2026? Like, you could have held on to that, Ubisoft.
I think so. Because I think having that day be like, okay, somebody's made the joke, like, you're announcing the game is in development now. It's been 7 years and you still have, like, essentially nothing to show. Which, that's rough. That's rough.
Yeah. But, I mean, you know, if this is any indication based on, like, the art style of this, you know, CG trailer, it seems like it may pan out. We'll see. I guess we got to wait and see what it ends up looking like.
That one's tricky for me because Dead Space Remake was awesome, critically well received, but it didn't sell well. Right? Because, you know, EA did their reports like it, you know, wasn't as financially feasible as they assumed it would. This is now being 7 years deep. Like, is it worth to release a game that might not do well either? I don't know. I worry is what I'm trying to say.
For sure. Yeah. Just make it good at least.
Just make it good. Sure. Yeah. An update for 2 more Prince of Persia games. The Lost Crown got story DLC, a little teaser trailer for that. I don't know if there's a date on that. Sorry, this September is when that releases. And then an update to the early access game, The Rogue Prince of Persia, was also revealed. A new biome, Temple of Fire, and some more weapons and such. X Defiant got a season 1 reveal. I am super tuned out of X Defiant. I don't know if this is one for me that I'm going to keep up with.
Yeah. Might have more to talk. Well, maybe next week.
What is this? Anno 117 Pax Romana.
That's isn't that the RTS? Yeah, that's the RTS game. It's like they have a this is a franchise. They've made other ones before. But this is the first one, I believe, in the Roman times. Yeah, it's a kind of middle of the road RTS, I think.
Are there any more major announcements that happened that I missed this weekend? I don't know if they're. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty.
There was a speculation before the show about something Halo related, but I would say we should save that for next week because we're already running super late.
Okay.
And that's something me and Gage can talk about. I'll be on vacation, but I can talk about that remotely.
I mean, I'm just waiting for either of these two to get back so we can talk about some of the topic of the show stuff.
That's true. Wait, did you talk? Well, I guess you're saving Outlaws for the topic of the show. That's what.
I am. I have to.
That's fair. Well, you could talk about Shadows. I don't know that they are gonna care that much about it.
Oh, about AC Shadow. Yeah, okay. How about Dan? What you got for me? What you been up to?
Oh, that's true.
I made a joke.
Remember
forward thing, but
yeah, remember X Defiant? You were just talking about.
Yeah.
Well, me and Gage played a little bit of it. And my initial thoughts on it were it was actually kind of fun. I enjoyed my time with it for the first couple of matches. And then Gage was like, well, are you enjoying it just because we're doing well? And I was like, well, maybe. And then we started struggling a little bit in a couple matches after that. And I got less interested, but it wasn't because we were losing. It was more so the structure of the maps and how they interact with the modes. I wasn't a huge fan of the structure of the overall game, I think, because all of the maps are very structured linearly. So like it felt very much like I was playing a hero shooter, which I guess sort of it has those elements with the different character specialists and stuff that you can choose.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I'm not huge on hero shooters. I played a little bit of Overwatch back in the day, but like just the linearity of all of the levels kind of put me off because it felt like you were just constantly pushing forward. It didn't feel like there was anything interesting happening like in the outer parts of the maps. Like everything's just driving you forward. Like even the modes that you wouldn't even expect to just be pushing forward essentially in that, like, you know, just team deathmatch or whatever, it still felt like I was just, you know, running straight forward to the other side of the map and that was it. Like, of course they had their normal escort mode that hero shooters have, and that was very much your babying the robot through the level, but I don't know.
Did you like the gameplay feel, like the way the shooting felt?
Yeah.
I
actually
did.
Surprisingly, yes, because I played the beta and I thought the beta played horrible back in the day.
Sure.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, it did not feel good at all, but playing this, the controls actually did feel very smooth to me and responsive. So at least that was an improvement for me.
Here's what I'm going to do, Daniel. We're going to move on to topic of the show. We're going to talk about my hands-on previews with games that I played or saw at Summer Game Fest. I saw or played a total of 16 games. Some of them were like presentations that developers would give you, so you don't get hands-on, but you do get a hands-off look at the game. I can't talk about all of them. Some of them are embargoed. Some are super, super embargoed. But some I can briefly talk about. And I'll put it in like an order. I put them in an order where like it doesn't matter that Gage and Ro are not here for this part. I'll just talk about those.
Okay.
Unknown 9 Awakening. This being published by Bandai Namco and developed by Reflector Entertainment. I don't know how much I can talk about this game, but it's interesting. The way combat was in this game, like she's like, by the way, apparently the Unknown 9 is like a real universe. There's like podcasts and books and like comics and real books and something else like about this game. So they're just doing a thing in universe. So it's already like a pre-established franchise. And you use magic. And the way they showed off combat in this game I thought was really interesting was you control people. So you control one and then you have them do a move. And you start the move, and then you like tap out, and it's like they're still like frozen. And you move to another enemy and aim their gun, and start to hit the trigger. And then you let go, and that meter it's like a timer. It ends, and now all the actions you've done while the meter was going start. And so the first person you like smash ended up dying, right? And the person that did the smash is shot from behind. From the other person you controlled, and then you're there to like take them out once the sequence is over.
That's kind of interesting.
I thought that was an interesting way to deal with combat. It was a short demo, so I don't have more thoughts there. I can't tell you if the rest of the game is going to be good or not. But they did mention that like you have to choose a path in your skill tree. If you want to be like combat focused, magic focused, or something else that's focused. And there's no way to get everything. There's like literally no way you can get every skill tree. So that they want you to like choose a path, and if you do choose a path and like fulfill that entire skill tree, you'll like master it, and now everything in that skill tree is like double as powerful. So I thought that was interesting. It's an interesting way to do that.
Yeah, that is interesting. I feel like
Game
that
I'll go-
trailer didn't really showcase that well. So that's
it did not. Yeah,
yeah, that's cool.
I agree with you there.
I also agree.
Perfect. Gage is back. I'll quickly. We played Fear the Spotlight for a little bit. It's a shorter demo. It's one of the games being published by Blumhouse Games, and it's fucking awesome. PS1 CRT filtered like horror game about this like girl and her friend sneaking into a high school at night to use a Ouija board that's in the library. It was pretty fucking cool. It's pretty cool.
It's already out.
I'm gonna talk about. No. Oh.
July. That's weird. It already has reviews or ratings.
Well, okay. If that's the case, then I can say that I think this is the game that got released, and then Blumhouse Games was like, "Hey, we like this game. If you delist it, we'll give you more money to make this into like a bigger game." And so they delisted it,
Interesting.
and it's now coming out again. That's my understanding.
Yeah, I think you're right because it first released in September of last year.
Yeah. Phantom Blade Zero, Chinese Souls-like game from S Games. It's fucking awesome, dude. I thought it would be more like From Software inspired, like really difficult combat, like tough to do, like parries and dodges, and that's not the case. It's more Devil May Cry, Bayonetta inspired, where like you're doing combos. So it was pretty easy to like button mash a little bit. I wasn't nailing every combo, and then when you have to parry or you have to dodge, I think the parry is like a blue light will like shine out of the enemy weapon, and you can click that. And if you have to dodge, it's a red light that comes out of an enemy weapon. So while like the combat itself was like challenging enough, it didn't feel like overly punishing. And I thought that was pretty neat, a neat way to do it. And it looks incredibly stylish. I had so much fun with this demo. It's apparently like 30 minutes long on the show floor, but like the faster you beat it, obviously the better you do. I beat it in 9 minutes with 3 deaths. It was fucking great. It's fucking great.
Oh yeah.
I went hands-on with Replaced. Remember the Xbox game, that 2D cyberpunk noir sci-fi inspired game?
Yeah. On my fantasy critic.
Yeah, there was a tutorial which I ended up skipping because the way this demo worked is like we didn't have an appointment for this one, so we're like, hey, can we can we squeeze in? Is there a time we can play? And he's like, well, you guys can play now, but when the appointment comes, like we'll have to kick you guys off. Well, that's fine. She's like, well, if that's the case, then I'll recommend you skip the like story section and just go straight to combat. There's like a combat mode, and it was fucking awesome. They do like this like subtle screen shake when you like hit or dodge or parry or move. All the enemies have like it's like Spider-Man when like you see like the little tingles of a Peter's head. Fuck was Gage doing?
I just got flashbacks because Spider-Man 2 fucking bent me over and
yeah, but it's just 2 of them. If it's yellow, it's over the enemy's head. If it's yellow, that means parry and it's satisfying. If it's red, it means dodge. If they have like any like shield on them, you hold B and you'll do like a bit. You'll have like a little hammer thing, and you like do a big move, and you break their posture, and you can just go back to punching and stuff. And then after you do enough hits or enough parries, you'll build up like your little gun. It's like a little special move, and if you press that, it's an instant takedown. So I'm in like this giant. It's like an arena, and it's like 3 or 4 waves of enemies, and they get harder, and there's more enemies and it felt great. It felt fucking great. I went into the story mode for just a little bit, started walking around, talked to a few people. It goes from 2D to 3D and then back to 2D.
Sick.
Stunning. I'm very excited for this game. I think it'll be really, really, really cool. I don't know if it's out this year though.
Dude, this game has been fucking delayed like 3 times now. Like it was originally supposed to come out 2 years ago.
Right. I think I've had this on my fantasy critic both years. This is the first year that I don't have it on my thing.
It's got to come out this year, please. Yeah, because I think that it was supposed to come out 2022, I think, originally.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Whenever it does come out, I'll be there. Very happy.
Hell yeah.
Delta Force Hawk Ops. I know they flew people out before Summer Game Fest to like get extended hands-on with the game. Peter and I got to play this, like, and it's not the campaign mode, it was specifically the extraction mode. And let me fucking tell you. Daniel,
Yes.
you will love this fucking game. You will have so much fun. Everything you hate about Tarkov,
Yeah.
most things you hate about Tarkov are not here. Like when I got in, it was super hands off. But I had like a small bug, so the developer had to like come help me. And whatever, he like restarted the game real quick, and then it was fixed. But he hovered over me, and so like obviously like before you go into like I forget what it's called for Tarkov, but before you go into like a session, you like go into your gear, and everything's the exact same. You put your helmet on, you put your backpack on, the little fucking the vest, and then the belt, and then you're moving over all the different types of the med packs, your different type of ammo. You have to put the ammo into the gun. All that's the same. You get to customize your guns with all different kinds of equipment. Again, all the same. You get in there, you hit M on your keyboard. It's also coming to consoles, I think, this game. And you have a map. And you have a map with waypoints on there, with objectives on there. And there's a shit ton on there. And you can see where the extractions are. But before you get in there, you get to choose an operator. And each operator has like one skill. And this was like such a good like marriage of like the hardcore simi stuff of Tarkov, but also a bit more of like the like arcade that you would find with other games. It's not a hero shooter, obviously, but I went in as a medic, and going in with like an ability that gave me 9 shots of this like medic gun. I could either heal myself or point it at my teammate and heal him. So it would give us an extra bit of like, hey, my friend Peter didn't have enough bandages, so he was like bleeding out. He was like trying to run. I was like, hey, hold on. And I shot him, and that fixed him up. And like this small little tweak was like, suddenly this like extraction shooter that is like, I feel like plays just as hardcore as like Tarkov is a bit more accessible to a person like me who's not wanting to sink major time into it. Fucking great. I am suddenly very excited for this game to launch.
It sounds like when you said like you get into a match, you open up your map, it shows you all these objectives you can do, and it shows you exactly where you can extract. It sounds like this might be a perfect marriage of like DMZ.
Yes.
Right?
Dude.
And Dan and I played the absolute shit out of DMZ.
We did.
I went to an evac, the closest one that was available to me. Like, cause you go in there, you have like 25 minutes. And we did like 2 objectives before we had to like, we were full of shit and we had to like go evac. We went to one extraction. For whatever reason, that one was no longer operable. So we had to like fight to a new one, but there was like some kind of engagement happening down the line where it made like getting to that one like a bit trickier. And it was fun, dude. We played 1 round, and that was like the end of our demo session. Like, fuck. That was cool. Does
this one have a release date?
I don't know if it does.
Man, I'm hearing you talk about it is getting me a little bit excited.
I'll tell you something about this later, though.
Okay.
Since Ro's not here, then I'll quickly brush over Metaphor. Metaphor and Sonic. Metaphor looks real fucking good. It's obviously a very Atlas RPG. Will only be for people who are into Atlas RPGs, really. He's back.
There he is.
He's fucking back. I can talk to him about.
I can talk to him about Metaphor. Ethos,
yeah.
And he came back.
I just started talking about Metaphor and Sonic.
Really?
Yeah, dude, Metaphor is so fucking good. The UI in that game, because here's the thing about like, obviously the graphics and stuff like look really pretty, but for me, like what makes like Persona games so good is how like the interactivity with the menus feels, like the actual experience, somehow even better than anything I could have expected. Like it is like fucking awesome to be seeing some of the ways like those menus pop in and out. And also the way combat is structured is a lot more friendly this time around, where not everything is turn-based. Now, if you're over leveled, there's real-time combat. So you can just like quickly just do the real-time combat. You'll see all your stats, when it's like traditionally when you would like defeat a group of enemies, you'd have like, your little stats like increase. Now it just happens in a second. And if there is someone over leveled, you hit them with like, if you sneak up on them, you can hit them with like real time combat, and then like they do like a little thing where they take damage and they're like falling, and it goes into slow motion, and you can hit triangle, or I guess maybe it was Y. I don't forget what controller input it was, but like let's say the triangle button to go into squad battle, and then you go into like the actual group battle, the turn based stuff, and it's cool. It's cool.
I'm excited. I like you were saying with the menu stuff. It's one thing for it to be pretty, but it's pretty and well designed. Like the menus are, like you're saying, you go through the combat and like it just feels snappy and nice. And there's a lot of games that look nice but just aren't intuitive and aren't user friendly. I think Atlas does like a good combination, an amazing combination of both, because the menus are fantastically designed, but they also work as intended. But yeah, I'm excited for the gameplay is something that like I just enjoy. Is like it's for the most part stays the same for Persona, Shimigami Tensei, and there's another I'm forgetting, but they're all pretty similar. But I just love that loop and get more friendly, as you're saying. So yeah.
After like 30 minutes with like the combat and the story, I was like, when this game releases, like this is like the end of the year for me. Like nice. Game of the year material type of shit. Like it was really cool. And then I turned around and watched people play Sonic Shadow Generations. They were playing the Shadow levels, and I'm like, fuck, this looks fucking awesome too.
Oh yeah. Did you get a chance to play it, or you were watching?
Just saw. Yeah, I didn't get to play it.
That's okay. Cool.
I got a presentation of Assassin's Creed Shadows. It was pretty much almost the same as what they showed in the Ubisoft Forward. Like you're getting to see the difference between Yasuke the samurai and Naoe the shinobi. I was extremely let down by what I saw from Assassin's Creed Shadows. Like I know these games can be a little bit janky, and that's fine, but a lot of this was missing during my presentation. Like tons of texture popping in and out, whatever, development build, sure, whatever. But the presentation of like characters, like it felt extremely from like a generation I thought we were past, where like you would like start a cinematic and the person either like pops in or walks in all weird and then like snaps to you, or things aren't populating behind them. They like specifically the enemy like AI was weird. They would not snap on. They were like sliding and like being stuck in a lot of the like. They have destructible environments now, which is cool. When it works, it looks awesome to see in combat. But a lot of the time, like they were just sliding or like colliding with it and not doing anything like what felt normal. It just felt like you can see where the video game stuff is kind of breaking the immersion. And then a lot of the moves that they were doing with either Yasuke or Naoe were like just not registering when you would expect things to register, because like the characters are like right in front of each other and like they just would not hit. Or like somehow like Yasuke would like turn around during a swing and like now you like completely missed and wasted one of your special moves. It was weird. And I understand it's a development build. They still have a couple months to finish it. But when I looked at other games and how far along those games are with like roughly the same timeline when that'll be released, I worried about the state of Assassin's Creed Shadows. But I think from what I gathered is like if you're like someone who can overlook that stuff and just be into the world of Assassin's Creed Shadows, then you're going to be like pretty excited by what you're going to get to experience. Because like the way Yasuke and Naoe play similarly, but also entirely differently. Yasuke's a lot, heftier, bulkier, more bigger moves, and Naoe's more agile. You can fight directly, but is more like dodging and stuff, or completely like stealth. Then that kind of shit, like I'm sure will be exciting for a lot of people. How did you guys feel about the UB Forward presentation?
I was pretty honestly, I was pretty excited about it in terms of the stealth gameplay mechanics, and I'm still interested in it. And I'll probably play it at launch. Of course, I'm a huge Assassin's Creed fan. But you're totally right, Christian. All those things that you pointed out, those are things that the franchise has suffered with the last like several iterations, with characters doing some wonky shit and texture pop-ins. Like one of the most jarring things is when you're in a city and you're just walking normal speed in the city and you just see like the characters' clothes pop because it's changing to like a higher resolution texture as you're getting closer. And yeah, that's definitely been a problem with Assassin's Creed. I almost wonder if at this point they need to abandon their proprietary engine, because it feels like maybe that might be a bit of a symptom of an older engine, I guess. I don't know.
Right.
If I can add one more thing, there's like these finisher moves that legit I think actually look pretty fucking cool when you're doing them. Like the way the camera gets in all intimate, and the way like like a slam will happen. Like there's cool work there. And I'll say it this way: the first time it happened during my preview, the people at the event like popped. Like it was a pretty big moment. And this is all during like emergent combat. And then the same move happened in like less than 30 seconds later, and it was silent. And the same move happened again. And then it happened again.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was like, oh, okay.
That's yeah. It's weird because it seems like some of these. Granted, I've not played a lot of Assassin's Creed games from the genre switch that they did, which I think was probably what Origins was the first big switch up, I think, to the more RPG style. I don't know, but I haven't played a lot of the latest ones, but it sucks because this is a problem that seemed like it got fixed at some point and then has kind of reemerged, because Assassin's Creed 1 and Assassin's Creed 2, you had that issue with like the counter kills, which was super satisfying to do, but like in those first few games there was maybe only like 7 or 8 of those animations, and like if you were taking on a group of say 20 people, you would start to see a lot of doubles and triples of animations coming up. By the time we got around to Assassin's Creed 3, they had a ton of variations of stuff like this that kind of help, where it would depend on the weapon you were using, it would depend on the weapon the enemy was using, and there's a lot of variations. And I feel like especially in Assassin's Creed 3, which maybe I just have blinders on because I love that game, but it felt like you could take on a group of like 20 people and you would maybe only see one double of an animation. Like it seemed like they got pretty good at that. And now that's kind of rearing its ugly head back up again for some reason. So this could be a thing of like the dev build, right? Where they've got a ton of animations just sitting there waiting that are kind of being polished.
Sure.
And I hope that's the case, because that would suck. Yeah, seeing a lot of that stuff, because it did seem cool. I didn't watch an extended gameplay. I just saw what we were shown. And obviously they don't show a lot of the doubles and triples. So the stuff I did see, I thought was really cool. And also, I like how they leaned into the differences between Yasuke and I'm blanking on the other character's name. Naue. I was talking to Guy, a friend of the show, before we saw anything from Assassin's Creed, and I was saying I really hope they lean into the physicality of Yasuke being this foreigner in this land where he's just fucking towering over these people. And there was this really cool shot. I don't know if it's an ability you use, but there's this cool shot where somebody was playing as Yusuke, and he starts barging through this house and just starts taking down all the walls, all the paper walls. And I was like, this is kind of what I was hoping for. This is so cool. And I can only imagine being one of these samurai on the other end being like, what the fuck am I dealing with? Just fucking scream. I don't know. I think it's cool. I think it's cool that they're leaning into the differences between these two characters, and one plays more like a brute and one plays more like a stealthy kind of shadow. And I'm interested, man. I think it looks.
I'm looking at the extended gameplay walkthrough from the Ubisoft Forward, and it is almost exactly what I was shown. I got shown a bit more. It kind of ends a bit earlier than what I saw, but yeah. To your credit gauge, or to your point, yeah, the first time Yasuke gets off the horse and he's like just fucking massive and like almost double the size of some of these like Japanese people. He's like walking around or like bowing.
Right.
Yeah, sure.
It looks awesome. Cool.
Can I just also, the fucking NPCs doing this maneuver where they take the step over, like every fucking Assassin's Creed game does it. All right, let's change the animation. Yeah.
Yeah. One more positive thing I have to say too, and I'm sure you can see this in the extended gameplay walkthrough. When you do the like, here's your target that you have to assassinate, I thought stylistically when they do that and it goes into like the calligraphy splash where it's like all like the background turns to parchment paper, and then like everything that's in the foreground is like ink. It looks like ink, and the only color is just like the red blood. That I thought looked fucking great. Very cool work there. Yeah, otherwise, a lot of it. When people were making jokes at like, oh yeah, we already have Assassin's Creed in Japan, it's Ghost of Tsushima. I kind of like shrugged that off because that's kind of reductive, you know. These are two kind of different games. But I don't know. And this is coming from someone who like doesn't like Ghost of Tsushima very much. That level of polish that game had, and then seeing the extended gameplay demo that I had, wasn't a little bit like night and day. Where this felt like too much like kind of last gen AI and NPCs interacting with the world, and that bummed me out because I was hopeful for this one. Like I wanted something to pull me back into Assassin's Creed, and my preview with it wasn't enough, which bummed me out.
You know what Assassin's Creed game's gonna bring you in, Christian? Hex.
Tell me.
Hex when that one gets.
Which is that one?
That's
like
the
witch trials in Salem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That does sound
That's real?
Yeah.
That's real.
I think that's
I'm
the
curious.
next one.
Oh, shit.
That's the next one after this. Yeah.
It's a cool time period. I'm curious to see how that'll all. shake out.
That's different. That's unique, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe, Daniel. Last game here, of course, before we close out the show, is Star Wars Outlaws. I had an hour with the game, 3 missions. Yeah, it was pretty lengthy. Essentially, if you watch the Star Wars Outlaw, like Ubisoft posted YouTube, like I think it's like an 11-minute gameplay overview trailer, it almost essentially covers everything that I talked about. Dude, I'll say this. Like, I had no expectations for this game other than, like, I drafted it in my fantasy league expecting to be like, oh, you know what? Massive made a cool game with The Division. People like those games. I'm sure this will at the very least be competent. It's Star Wars. People will like it. I didn't think I would like it. And I walked away from that fucking time with the demo being... I turned to Peter, I'm like, did you like that? And he's like, dude, did you like... We both were pleasantly surprised. The only negative comments that I heard from other people were like, it's a bit too like Uncharted for people's taste. I like Uncharted. I don't think it plays as good as those, but like there was absolutely a minimal amount of jank in this fucking game. I was so surprised at how well all of this is running. In fact, I was actually even a bit impressed, remembering that this is an open world, dude. Like,
wow.
One of my mission, I'll detail 2 missions. I'm still writing my preview out for this game, but the second one is like I'm in the middle of this city and I have to like steal an artifact for a different gang's hideout. It's a side mission, and the place inside is guarded by 2 guards. But it's like it's in an area where that's restricted, so I have to sneak in, and then a prompt pops up that's like, if I fail this, my reputation with the clan will like worsen. And I'm like, okay, now the way I interact with the world actually matters because like I have a fucking reputation with different like groups in the actual overworld. I'm in there, and all the puzzles in this game are like interesting to me. Where like if you have to open a locked door, it's real time. You can look left and right because if you get caught, and I had to quit in the middle of like unlocking a door and start a shootout, which was fun. And the way you unlock a door is it's a rhythm game. So every time like the beat hits, it's like a 3 or 4 or 5 like beat, deet 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 deet, and you have to match that to get in. There's a hacking minigame called Glyphing or Glyph Splicer, where it's basically Wordle, which I thought was neat. I won't go too into depth in that because who cares about puzzles? I guess just me. Shooting felt good. Whatever. I roll out of like with the relic and I'm walking towards the Queen of Shiga. I remember that it's an open world because I'm getting like question marks, but I can't go in those areas because my reputation there is like too bad. I'll get like caught or whatever. That was one mission. The other one is like I'm on board an Imperial space station, and there are stormtroopers everywhere. And my objective is to not get caught. I have to like destroy data on board and then escape. In order to like reach a terminal, I have to like point at a stormtrooper who's keeping watch, and Nyx runs over and distracts him. That gives me enough time to run over and melee him, take him out. I destroy the data. I open the doors. I'm running back to the hangar. There are people who are like, know that that's like not a ship that's supposed to be here, so they're waiting for me. I'm in this huge shootout. I tell Nyx to go grab a gun for me because the people who are keeping watch have better guns than I do. Nyx grabs a gun. I can then click to take the gun. My gun's better. I take down their plasma shield. I do enough damage that now I have like an adrenaline surge. It's like it works like the Red Dead Redemption Eagle Eye, the Dead Eye, sorry. So I take out a few, run onto the ship. I'm on my ship. Just like that, in real time, I'm out in space. The people that were on board get on their TIE fighters. They start chasing me. Kay makes a little reference that like my best bet is to like run to the nearby asteroid belt and fight them there. So I hit the boosters. I go nearby to the asteroid. We're fighting in the asteroid belts. Dogfighting was okay, less involved than something like a Starfield, but like still involved enough to feel competent and good. And once that fight's over, I have a reputation. So before I can land on the planet to like complete my objective, I have to go to the nearby like satellite, hack into that, and get rid of my reputation, like get rid of my wanted level.
Oh, wow.
Then I can land. I go to the planet. There's like multiple places that I can pick from. It's handcrafted. I click on one that I'm supposed to go to. Real-time transition onto the planet. It's just a fucking big-ass city. I'm going to talk for 2 more minutes here, and then I'll stop. The city has, like, shit everywhere. In the bottom of my ship, I have my speeder that I can get on and go somewhere else. I was told, like, not to do that. I just still go into the city. I go into the city, and it's fucking huge. My objective is, like, 100 and so meters away. On my way towards the objective, there's a fucking gambling station. People are sitting there gambling. I click on it because I'm curious. Turns out, gambling is involved in this game more than you would think. It's like a horse racing thing, and I have to study the health conditions of every single horse and their last 5 placements in order to like see if I can actually gamble my way to a win. I won money, and then some dude noticed that I won and was like, "I'm down on my luck. Can you like spare me some money so that I, to get me out of this hole? You can either give him 500 or 100. I gave him 100, and he's like, I won't let you down. Come back later, and I'll have something for you. I promise. I don't know if I can follow that up, but I'm curious. I walked to the cantina. It's a cool fucking Star Wars cantina. My demo end. I was so surprised, man. It was a great fucking time.
Wow.
That's
They get
interesting.
it.
Going into this, I think I made a prediction. I don't think it was on air. It might have been before we started our live stream. But I was like, man, I feel like coming off of Shogun, Christian's gonna really vibe with Assassin's Creed Shadows, and Star Wars Outlaws looks mid as hell. He's not gonna like it.
It's the reverse.
And it's the reverse of that. And I'm surprised, although I did just look it up while you were talking, and I'm gonna bring it up again. But Ubisoft did something really special with developing Snowdrop, because this game is running on Snowdrop engine, and so far every Ubisoft is known for being the masters of jank. Everybody makes fun of them for that, and it's a title that they've earned. But there are exceptions to the rule, and so far over the last decade, every exception to that rule seems to be a game that has been developed on Snowdrop. The Division still to this day looks fantastic. Obviously, the Division 2, Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora, which, was lukewarm reception, like, 70s, whatever. And then you got a game like this. You've got what's their racing franchise?
The Crew.
The Crew. The newest Crew is on Snowdrop, and guess what? I played that game for a bit. I logged a few hours into it. It looked and felt really, really good. So I'm surprised.
Brother, you're telling me.
I'm wondering if this is a game I need to check out now. Like I'm totally on sort of Star Wars. I'm out of that. I'm out of it. I don't care anymore. There's too much of it, oversaturated. But everything you're saying sounds like a really competent open world game.
And I gotta say, I was worried like how big it would be. None of it felt like compromised. It felt like still like it's big, obviously, but everything still felt crafted. And then like news broke like later that like the main can't like you can complete this game in like 20 to 30 hours. And if you want to do everything, it's like 60. Okay, so it's an open world, but it's not like massive to like entirely like demand that it'll be like a forever experience.
Like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, where
Sure,
the map
right.
is
Oh.
like
Yeah.
200 square kilometers, and there's 200 hours of stuff to find. It's too much.
Too much, but that game was good.
I'm genuinely excited for this. Like I'm gonna buy it. I think their practice of the way they did this shit with like spend $100 and to get the Java story mission is fucking stupid, and I will never support practices like that. But I want to play this game. The systems they're introducing in this game are like really cool. Less fucking janky than the Star Wars like Jedi games people love.
Interesting.
So
Which I thought I couldn't get into those games because I thought they were incredibly janky.
I had one moment where it like I had collision, and that was like the platforming was like there are platforming sections I didn't talk about this mission. That is like the most Uncharted where you're like climbing and swinging and jumping, sliding, whatever. And I jumped to a platform and I like landed on the ledge, and like it kind of freaked out a little bit, and then I died. Like I just like slipped off, and I'm like, that was the one moment of jank. But like, what the fuck ever.
Right. Every game is going to have something like that, right? It's all ones and zeros. There's going to be issues somewhere.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is the next Assassin's Creed game needs to be in Snowdrop.
Yes. The next
Go on to something.
the Splinter Cell remake is.
Is it? Oh, I didn't
It
realize
is.
that.
It's in Snowdrop.
Nice.
I just went to the Wikipedia of Snowdrop, and I'm just looking at all of the games that are on it, and literally, if you guys were to look at the entire list, you'd be like, yeah, there's not a dud on here. There's maybe one that's not for me, but all these games are fucking great.
Wait, so you said Splinter Cell? I guess that's the last game we're going to be talking about. Well, they should
is
something,
that?
right? They
Huh?
should.
Listen, I would love a new Splinter Cell game as much as everyone else. I wish, dude.
They announced it 3 years ago now. Haven't seen it.
Next year, we'll have to wait.
Anyway, longer show today. I'm sorry. I try to keep this like a tight 90, but did not happen. My apologies.
I feel like if there are ever episodes that are warranted to go long, it's the ones after the
E3 and
G3.
stuff.
It's fair.
If anyone has to leave, let me know because I fully forgot we did predictions, and we can quickly go over those to see who won.
I'm good. I'm good on time. We can do predictions.
You're
Because I
good?
forgot about that
Oh.
too, and I would like to get into that.
Hell
Okay,
Although-
perfect.
Okay, so Star Wars Outlaws had a great showing, but overall, what were our thoughts on the Ubisoft presentation? Because I did not think it was as
I
a
didn't
presentation, as a showcase.
Yeah, it was
I-
not.
I try to watch. See, this is the thing. I always try to sit down and watch every show as somebody who's in the industry and wants to be in the industry. And Ubisoft is the one where it's like I get past 2 trailers and I start fast forwarding. I can't.
Yeah.
They don't have the vibe of like stage presentation anymore. They lost that aspect somewhere along the way. They used to be so bombastic and crazy with like all the people coming on the stage, and I don't know what it is. They're just dry.
Pandas and Just Dance.
The pandas. The pandas.
Yeah, you lose a little bit of that pageantry.
Yeah.
Let's go over predictions because Gage is wrong about something that we definitely need to address.
Okay.
So Ro wasn't part of this episode, so Ro, sadly, we'll be skipping you, but please stick around and listen to us go through
course.
these. We each had 5 predictions, me, Gage, and Daniel. And I'll just do one by one. Yeah, go ahead. What's up?
Ro was not here to make the predictions. If there is any scuttlebutt at all, we give it to Ro decides the points today, I think. That's a fun way to do it.
Fair?
Ro is the
Yeah,
arbiter
Judge-
of point distribution. Yep.
Judge Warner.
Judge
All right,
Judge Warner.
So I'm going to need you here in like just a second, so don't go anywhere.
Oh
Uh-oh.
no.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if this is the order, but this is how we'll do it today. My first prediction was that Silk Song, I just said Silk Song, August. No, that was not anywhere close to the show. Gage's first prediction, State of Decay 3 in-engine gameplay trailer and release window. Then he said, Ro,
Oh no.
if
Oh, no.
if both don't happen, I'll buzz my hair. We got
Oh!
we got no release window.
Wow!
I made a joke about this, saying that it's now it's. But okay.
Wow. Get
Oh,
the Clippers out.
You did say both. You did say both, and we didn't get both.
Was
Do it
that
right now, live.
Was that in-engine gameplay?
That was absolutely an engine gameplay.
Says who?
Says Gage.
Says Ro. Was that
Well,
State of
doesn't
Decay
matter.
3 in-engine?
I think it was. I think it was confirmed. to be an engine,
It
wasn't
was in-engine assets, yes. It was all in-engine assets.
We'll give you 0.5, but I'm just saying, if both don't
Wasn't
happen, yeah.
Yeah.
That to me would say I have to buzz my hair, and I'm gonna say right now we should buzz his hair up for 250, like in person.
Is that okay? All right.
Incredible.
I am a man of my word.
Damn.
Incredible.
0.5. Gage takes the lead.
But at what cost?
Ugh.
Wow. Okay.
Daniel comes in with Gears of War Marcus Phoenix Collection will be the Shadow Drop game. Nope.
Didn't happen.
Out within the next couple of days. Nope. And then we got a first look at Gear. We wrote down the Gears 6, but in the episode we said the next Gears game.
Mainline gear.
The next mainline game. And it will have a fall 2025 release window. I am 0.33, I think.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll take it.
Okay.
That
Roshan's
is
first
the next
prediction.
mainline game.
What the fuck?
Roshan's first prediction was I'm a cool, cute dude.
I'm a cool
One
kid.
more.
Confirmed.
Yeah, one point, Roshan. I was channeling my Roshan energy with this next prediction. That game company's sci-fi game will be officially announced, and we'll get a release date for this fall. None of that happened. 0 points.
Darn.
Gage said Naughty Dog will make an appearance at SGF in some capacity.
What are you laughing about, Dan? We'll wait till we get to some of your later predictions, then we can start chuckling. All right.
Speaking of, Borderlands 4 first look with a release window of spring 2025.
Yeah, that was Civ 6 or 7. I mean, Civ 7.
My next prediction was this Escape beta would be announced for later this summer and a release date of spring 2025. I don't think they said this summer. I would do 0.33 for me.
Did it not say this summer? I thought it was August, wasn't it?
Is it August?
I thought I could have sworn that they said it was coming like imminently.
I saw that it was like later this year, so like no
Okay.
hard date.
Hey, you want?
I would give myself. Yeah, I don't know, just to be fair.
Sure.
Uh,
No, wait, no, we don't get to decide this. Judge Warner gets to decide this. We
I thought I thought I had the tab open with Escape, but I don't. I was hoping I was be able to just check real.
Here we go. Yeah, playtesting is supposed to arrive sometime in 2024. So no window. 0.33. Gage's third prediction was that a tease and release window for something Splinter Cell. No.
I wish.
That's crazy.
Assassin's Creed, this is Dan's. Assassin's Creed Shadows will get a deep dive with a crazy different mechanic that is similar in scope to the ship in Black Flag. I don't know if I saw any sort of crazy mechanic
No.
Yeah, but it did get a deep dive. I'll give you the 0.5. Here we go. My fourth prediction, Light No Fire gets a gameplay trailer with a release date February 2025. No such thing. Daniel, I respect it. Oh, I'm sorry, this is Gage, isn't it? Gage, I respect it, but no such thing with your prediction that some kind of Halo tease would occur.
And what did Dan say? No chance.
And do
You
you
know
know what? Do you know what happened immediately after the fucking show end?
That was before.
343 released a little "This is Halo Infinite" montage and fucking
yeah.
showed all the things that have been added to
Well,
the game. Why was that not just thrown into the fucking?
That trailer was posted on YouTube like a month ago. They just posted it to Twitter recently.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been on YouTube for like a month. I think it's because. Sorry, go ahead.
No, please. You think it's because what?
I think it's because it's the last kind of, big marketing push for what's essentially the final, game update. I don't know.
You know what else Dan said?
What?
Perfect Dark? Not here.
Yeah, I was wrong. I was wrong. All the shit we heard about the game was like how much trouble it's in. I think if there's one thing we can agree with on that is that I feel like it's nowhere near as in trouble as like all the reports are saying. Or
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. Agreed. And then of course we went crazy with our last one. We did combination platters where we just threw in 3 different predictions into one prediction. Got fun with it. My first Alan Wake 2 DLC gameplay trailer with a release date of October. That's half of a third, I think.
0.17.
Yeah. No iterative console hardware announcement at the Xbox showcase.
Which is true.
No,
iterative.
A discless Xbox Series X is.
Wait, is that?
No, we agreed on the show it was not like if it's. Remember we said if it's the digital Xbox, that's the the one exception.
Right.
We meant like new the next either Pro model or the handheld.
Okay.
Yeah, he specifically called that out on the show.
0.17 plus 0.33, 0.5. I think I meant now. Hell yeah. And then Phil Spencer does not address the studio closures directly. This one's tricky because that was not in the Xbox showcase. That was at IGN Live when Ryan McCaffrey asked him directly.
That's true, but these predictions were for all of Summer Game Fest.
SGF.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you get the point for that. Or you get...
Well, no, he said doesn't. Or did you say doesn't?
Yeah, does not. Yeah.
And he didn't at the show.
Yeah.
But are we counting the IGN thing part of Summer Games Fest, or is that a separate thing?
Oh, that's true. That was IGN Live. Okay.
Yeah,
I guess that's
IGN
kind
Live.
of a caveat.
Yeah, apparently Jeff made that very clear. That,
No, Gage.
I don't know if that's true.
I don't think that's true, Gage.
I don't think that's true. No, definitely not.
Gage's combination platter. We will see Perfect Dark. It's simple, clean, easy. 0.33 already.
Boom.
Gameplay demo of Stalker 2.
We got,
yeah. And a Silksong release date.
So 0.66.
0.66.
0.66.
I will say I'm happy you were right, Gage, that we got Perfect Dark. I was happy you were right on that.
I was happy that I was right on Stalker 2 because that shit looks good.
Yes, it does.
Dan's final combination platter. The next mainline Doom game is announced with gameplay. 0.33.
Nice.
Fallout 3 Remaster announced.
Fuck.
No. And Fable gameplay.
Boom.
Was it gameplay? Is that where?
Was it gameplay?
Oh, come on. That was gameplay. Are you shitting me?
Rose says it was?
I think it was.
Absolutely.
There you have it. Oh, hold on. You gonna do Z. The results are in. Tied for second. Gage and Christian with 1.1. With 1.16 equal.
What a score.
Dan takes the lead.
1.16 taking the lead. Let's go.
Dan takes the lead with 1.49.
Let's go.
Fuck these predictions.
What is he doing to win all the time? Like, how does it?
Being right.
It can't be based on like experience and intelligence, and it can't be. There's got to be some sort of back alley way that he's getting ahead.
I should no. You know what I should have did? I should have predicted that Gage would have some weird criticism of one game from the show.
What game was that?
I'm just saying, like that would be a solid prediction to have.
That would be a solid prediction.
Folks, that's going to do it for us today. Thank you again, everyone, joining us live on YouTube and Twitch, as well as podcast services everywhere, including Apple Pods, YouTube, Music, Spotify, and everywhere else you can get your podcasts. Thank you, Roshan. Thank you, me. Thank you, Gage. That's Daniel. And this has been Podcast PXN, and we are logging off.
Much love and keep on gaming.
See ya.